on YouTube, and then we are ready to go. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self Love. If you're joining in for the first time, welcome to the family. Please hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. Today we're going to be talking about fake family united, all right? Fake unity amongst family members. This is coming after we had a topic on, it's actually stemming from the whole issue of Zoleka Mandela and her red list, where she wanted certain family members not to attend her funeral, right? And from that to people just engaging on the reason why they don't attend family gatherings and events and all that stuff. So yeah, that's why we are here today to say, what is the main reason why you don't attend family gatherings? Because I believe that like I said in the video that I posted before this one, to say that I'm one of those people that every time when I go attend a family gathering, I always do it ready to be offended, because I know that one or two people are going to off ramp, because you know what, not everybody loves you. We do know that in family, within the family members, within the family, there are people who actually love you, there are people who actually care for you, who genuinely are for you. But obviously, because of jealousy, because some people felt like they will do better than you, they will be better than you, they will achieve before you and all that stuff, and also because of the history that parents have fighting and all that stuff, sometimes it passes down to the kids as well. So because of all of that family feuds and all that stuff, we end up having to deal with family members that don't like us, family members that actually just pretend. Some of them just deliberately go to these type of gatherings just to offend one another. So with people like Zoleka Mandela, who had an entire list, sorry about that, who had an entire list of people she did not want at her funeral, and us as Black people especially, always talking about how, we are a united community, we are family, blood is thicker than water. At funerals, you find that there's a whole lot of us, but you find that with a whole lot of people attending your funeral, more than 90% of the people who are actually attending your funeral don't even love you. They didn't even care about you when you were still alive. How do you expect those people to care about you when you were dead? Isn't it even better to not have people who didn't care about you when you were alive be there at your funeral? Because there's a comment that I saw on Instagram, on the same post actually that I posted, because I take one video and I post it across the board, where somebody was saying that, listen, sometimes people will attend your funeral just to ease their own conscience because of the things that they did to you while you were still alive. So when they say they are paying their last respect, they're literally just trying to ease they're conscious of the things that they did to you while you were still alive. So it's not about you and paying respect to you, but it's all about them and closure, with closure that they need because of the things that they did to you while you were still alive. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about the things that we do to each other as family members. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that in as much as we always talk about Ubuntu, how united we are, we actually have normalized toxicity amongst us Black people. That's why right now we're approaching December time, and we all know that when we get there, we're going to be, people are going to be bumping heads, people are going to be offending one another, people are going to be calling each other names. If you're not commenting about somebody not being married, you're going to be commenting about somebody not having, kids, somebody not having a car, somebody being too fat, this and this and this and that. Literally, it's like, you know what, when you go to a family gathering, have yourself an AK-47 and prepare yourself for war, because wow. All right, so we do have Lama Vimbela, who is the first person who was actually on the comment section. I did say to her that, listen, if you would like to share your story, because she says she has a lot to share, she should actually be the first one to call in so that she can share with us what is her story. Lama Vimbela, how are you doing, my love?
Hi, Sissy.
How are you? Let me just increase the volume a bit. There we go. You may proceed.
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yeah, hi, Master Saka. I'm just going to try to cut it short. And
Sure.
one thing that you should know is that I don't know if it's a disability or what, but you know that disability of when a person talks, but they seem like they don't make sense.
Okay.
Just be patient with me with regard to that.
Okay, no problem, my love.
So, for me, it's not a case, Yaori, when we go to gatherings, they will hurt you or they will say something. It's a matter of pretending.
Okay.
Until July, when I decided, I'm cutting myself from this family. It's my father's side of the family. So I'm just gonna try to make it a little bit shorter. So I was very, I can't say close because it was a matter of us, we pretend to each other like we are family, we love each other, you know, those type of actions.
Yeah.
I was communicating with my grandmother a lot, my father's mother, because I believe in King Badimo. I'm a Christian, but I believe Kore, but all those mindset about feeling your Naya Badimo.
Sure.
Which, yeah. So Nikiba Fune Lala Rakadiaka, but the energy was not the same. They were not giving me them energy. Hekiba Fune, like Gona Habam Fune. I got to a point on Ahman, Glabi.
Yeah.
But I had one and 2 weeks ago, I felt like I'm a funeral. Hey, Mutabat. But we are ring Konga can now go to phone. We have that relationship. 2 weeks ago, Reka fella as a phone or Kisafone, we get surprised door and then we ragala. So that's the only person I'm very close with, Kora Papa. So it happened in March when I was so Kamu text are you around Pretoria? I want to go hiking trail, so I have no one to go with. Because now they complain over my place is very far. So when I leave this hiking trail, I'm in Stellenbosch, but I'll be home for recess. I'm like, okay, cool, I got that weekend. When we do a text before that weekend was like, Kaz, can I come tomorrow? I'm like, are you not in Stellenbosch? Or no, I'm in Gauteng now. I'm like, no, you can't because I go on a guy. But the truth is, I didn't have money that time because I stay with my mother, my daughter, and my little sister. I didn't, like, you don't need any visitor because I'll I'm like, please come on Saturday, come Friday. Cool. Friday Saturday enjoy second week, third week I'm like oh, before that the following day mama ga phone mo or liska botsa mama re ke gona mo a hatse bo re ke gona. I'm like kanjani beke dino fela re funelana le mmahe maya phone but hanya ke maya tsebe gore mage like.
So wait, your cousin was staying with you for all those weeks. She was in your house the whole time.
This whole time, Mama
Emma Bill, when your cousin came to visit you, what was the plan for her to stay that long, or was she supposed to? Oh, okay.
Not for either for a weekend.
Oh,
or maybe
okay.
a maximum of a week.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. Then 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm like, me. I think recessing because UNISA, all my qualifications UNISA are next resource. I have a cousin again who I go UJ from my mother's side. I'm like, ma'am, okay, thank you. Madam, are you still living? What's do last time or we even at school do but I got in a manner I was shouting, like I was just trying to be a sister to understand the situation from going. One but proof of registration. Didn't pay for accommodation, blah blah blah. Proof of communication, proof of registration at school, and everything. And the proof she sent was last year. And
does she think when you don't know how to read?
Exactly. And it looked photoshopped. I'm like, oh, okay, ma'am. I'm gonna pass it. This person for this long, so they lead school. Does her mother know? And those weeks today, those luxury places, you know, every day. Then ke fonela mmahe ke re yo because you know gore ka kwa feminine ela, you are the only person I'm close with. Ngwana ga ka tla go bala ane le nna ba tlo re njani o tlo ba le those stories tsa o preman. So ngwana wa ga o na le nna, this is what happened. Ke a makala re se se fedile njani ke mhlalosetsa all the story, and I had I don't know, like it's like motsadi mo le mo na le diphiri tsa ngwana ga tse leng gore di fihlela batho. So ga ke mmotsa dilo tsela o ka re o bile le that feeling ya gore she knows more, e re ke di mmotsa the whole story, and there was a lot more to the story. Ke tseba fetse first qualification ka o tropile out ba mo disown the whole family, ba mo disown ba mo nyake bo mani ka mo ka ba rakgadi kaofela a ba mo nyake di cousin kaofela ba blockane. Like it's a matter of she doesn't communicate with anyone in that family. Okay, Shabu, ngwana thomo nkutswela. I'm like, okay, ke tla mo accommodate, but ke mo fa a condition ya gore she has to register the UNISA. A ka no dula le nna for as long as a nyaka, for as long as I ya sekolong. Mare a hloka stress. Ngwana thomo nkutswetsa wa mfounela ke le mmerekong se se matshapa kopa tšhelete ya borotho. How ka njani cause ke shele boitumelo le tšhelete ya borotho. Boitumelo a reka borotho, I will transfer the money. E ke fihla ga boitumelo re ke le borotho. Nenneng na re tloetse o ya tšhelete mo. Nenneng re nka tšhelete is gone. Nenneng batho ba tlo patela ba rekishetsa malome ya ka di-juice. Ba tlo patela di-juice, tšhelete is gone. And then what's going on? Then mama ka re a re morake nna nka se kgone go dula le motho moso wa go nkutswetsa a se ngwana wa ka ba mo disown for a reason. Ha re moraka then o thomo ngwala di-suicidal notes. Ha ngwala di-suicidal notes ke founela mmaga ke re phela motho ngwala di-suicidal notes. Mmaga thomo ba wa re timole le mmaga a rile morakeng cause le ka se kgone go dula le ena ke ena a supporting our decision ya go moraka. Then jiki ke feel bad ke re okay fine a re monyakeng at least a be le wena re tsebe gore o safe because now a re tsebe gore o idiragalang. Yo, I went through a lot ke nyakana le ngwana ola. I knew some of her friends ke ba contact ke shumisha tšhelete ya ka di airtime tsa ka and everything. Mara ke mmotsa ke re itla re monyake a tle a ye ko ausi ya gage. Then jiki ke re are you coming cause ke fumane address ya go monyaka o tlo botsa di excuse no sesi wa lwala sesi njane a ke nyako motarafa ka mathata when you are not serious about your child, you care more about your sister more than your child. Then kile busy then finally she took that decision ya gore a apply ka July. I received a call from a stranger hours later to play in the morning. They knew in the morning, the whole family of Papa they knew in the morning to play. Even the mother, no one cared to call me. After staying struggling no one cared to call me even the mother. Then haki kwa late ke mo phonela ke kwa from someone ko strateng. I'm like nah, it can't be. Mama ga gona gore a ka sempotse ke be ke stratela le ngwana ga this much. Ke mo phonela mmahe walla. I'm like okay fine gore re ke nnete. But then I was hurt gore out of everyone I'm disowning. How am I the last person to find out gore motho ne ke dula le ena motho ke sokotse nena ke be ke ema ka ditšhelete tsa ka ke nyakana le ena a ke botšiwe next. No one in the family cared to call me. Okay Shabu, I had hope gore ba tla phona but no one called. No one. Beke ya fela kare ha ke attend the funeral because I was hurt gore ba ka tlhoka le go nompotsa gore o ile ba no go no dula le motho man ke se thore motho la no dula le ena. She passed because ke dutse le ena 2 months o tsamaile o tlile in March o tsamaile in May. That's when
just sorry to interrupt you there. I just want to find out from you, do you for some reason have like some elements of self-blame in the whole thing that happened to your cousin? Do you kind of feel like maybe you contributed, or are you beating yourself up about it? Because I kind of feel like I am sensing that there's more to it than you just feeling like you wanted to stay away because people didn't inform you. Do you feel like they blame you or something like that?
Like not to say like ke feel okay at some point mare I ka feel or if nna ke senke ke morake because I was like I believe or nekile her last hope. So linna bengasi like mekgwa ya ga bengasi khotlelele. I feel like mare like I get but I feel like mother at some point you got one blame or maybe Nagas committed suicide because at that point she had no one to go to because everyone like everyone lying and all those stuff. So yeah, but about disown. I feel like Linda Hengabe kissing disown. So we went to the funeral. Now I went on Friday because I was working.
Just give me a second there. Let me just mute our new member, Mushabing. You may proceed, Sisi.
How do you feel like funeral? Like it was, we love an official kohen, but you feel like I'm at the wrong place actually. I want to talk lady Shang. How do we no one is responding back, like everyone is minding their own business. And feel like a nearly would go ke go gae or ke tlile ga di stranger na. Okay, fine. The following day, ke funeral ya procedure go programming what had me go they excluded me out. The reason why ke re ingusha bohloko they excluded me out go they went banka chomi ya gage e leng gore they found out about the friend from me gore ke the best friend ya Lebo aba part of the program. It's fine. Little sister Wagaga nearly part of the program, and the other one we were close really three. And then now giving you Lena, I was excluded from that whole thing. And I'm like, okay, the fact that I'm excluded here, we were three and really close, really three, it means there's more to this story.
Has anybody ever confronted you about the whole thing?
No one has no one. So immediately after funeral, because my uncle also passed away in Rumuluka Sunday and Rumulukile Saturday. Sunday, thing. I mean Saturday immediately after funeral, because I felt like Ugariki force the family union or anything like that. Okay, life went on. Ke phonela mare ke mmotsisha ro sharp wa mfonela le no mare, but we don't touch that topic ya level. Like o do mfonela and check out okay sisinya go check a fail. Okay, sharp lena ka mfonela ragadu o sharp. So now this weekend they are going home go phatlalatsa diaparo tsa gagwe. I was never told anything. That's when I told my mom, or you know what, I no longer want anything to do with this family because I don't know or vele or it's about the issue of labor. Because there was a time last year I had to fight okay, for my sake, can you please make peace? I had to beg them, get ready family meeting they did, and it's happening again this year. And I'm like, okay, it is whatever event that's coming, I'm cutting myself off. I'm not attending. And I was actually the only child, Yamushimani, I was attached to that family. But they cut themselves off. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was the only child I was still a part of them. So now I'm like, I'm enough with families, especially family Chabu Papa. Since this whole funeral, I cut them off and I'm like, let me move on with my life because clearly it's either I'm being blamed or they just simply don't want us.
Okay. You know what I think, my love, ne? Obviously, what I think is not always the only option or the best option. Is just my thought, right? Now I'm thinking to myself, it's too early for you to can, conclude on the whole thing of how people perceive you, especially with what happened to your cousin, because I believe that in as much as it's painful for you, it's painful for your aunt as well and everybody else involved. But I feel like you can take a breather, right? But for yourself, not for anybody else, but for yourself, I feel like you owe yourself the closure of what happened to your cousin by having a conversation with your aunt. It might not have to be today, next year, because I honestly, not from where I'm viewing the whole thing that you just explained to me, I feel like you are not going to be doing anybody a favor by saying you are distancing yourself from your aunt and everything and everybody in that family. I feel like this thing is going to haunt you because already it's bothering you. The fact, Yagori, you don't have clear answers of whether you are being blamed or not and this and that, I feel like that on its own is a thing that's going to haunt you. So I feel like you need to take a breather and just calm down and just let everything, settle. But at some point, you need to sit down with your aunt, just the two of you, and have a conversation. I feel like it's going to give you the closure that you need. Because even when you are speaking, I still sense a lot of self-blame, from what you are sharing. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, see, somebody here is saying for sanity's sake, confront the situation, probe and know the truth so that you can get closure. Exactly, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. To say, for you, I think the best thing that you can do for yourself, the best gift that you can give for yourself is closure. And for you to get closure regarding the whole thing is by you confronting the situation. Yes, you can take a break, you can let them do everything that they feel like they're doing, they can exclude you, and they can react whichever way they want to react towards the pain that they're feeling because of the loss of the child. They can blame you. It's only normal or natural for people to want to find somebody or something to blame when things like this happen. But eventually, this is going to be something that you will need to go back to, because this thing is not going to be sitting well with you. You can't just dismiss it like that, because obviously the way you are saying you looked for your cousin and this and that, you obviously cared for your cousin, you obviously wanted her to live, you didn't want her to die. And that element of self-blame which is in you, it's going to grow bigger and bigger if you don't address it at some point. And for you to address it, you need to sit down with your aunt. So like I'm saying, Ori, for now, I feel like, yes, you can, mize it a bit, you can let it rest a bit, let people do whatever they want to do, let them run around the place and do whatever. But eventually, you're going to have to come back and say, I need to sit with my aunt and have a conversation. Whether it goes positive or negative direction, at the end of the day, that conversation needs to be had. Because you have a lot of question marks, you have a lot of things that you don't have answers to, and it's not going to be good for you in the long run if you leave it like that. You get what I mean?
I get you. And one thing I hate the most about this whole situation is that I know never samunyake kaufela never samunyake, and it was very clear aba munyake. But definitely it seems like everyone cared about her. Okay, that's one thing that I hated about that family. Those
Hypocrites.
people they made it clear now they are suddenly the babies, they are crying like and I'm like, what's going on? You didn't want this person, now why are you crying? And then a week before she passed, because we decided to let's just go back. Never sat the cut off Marnell, no bataba or re morago. Mamaka or are you still part of this family or not? And the reason why they decided at some point to call my father and say, "Kao tule hae, wasona you don't earn enough or they took my father without telling us. Papa kao funa le hae or ke hae. Like we're like alufunela mosadi hae a le bolelela rena le re botsa mola papa ka a shetse a ile gae dilo tse di so then wa funa are you still part of this family or not? Because ke a tseba le hula lo hlanya ge le ka hlogofala mo khwi lo bolekela ko kae mama ka le papa ka ba sa mana le stand patas ba be ba aga. Then the next week ke ge setlogolo sa ge se hlogofala mama ka ro bana molomo like she was hoping or maybe one of us can pass. Then suddenly ke ngwana wa hae, then suddenly now I'm involved ka this situation. Then some people who didn't care about her, they are pretending like they care about her. They are part of every program. And Like, yo,
No, I do
honestly, I'm
understand.
in love with that family. Yo, I feel like they have caused us a lot of pain. Except this whole situation. This whole situation made things worse.
Yeah.
They've caused a lot
I
to
can
us.
imagine. I can imagine the friction that it has caused,
Now,
especially
and now
because when you
another
were directly involved.
And then now another thing is perseverance. They can do small gatherings like birthday celebrations and invite everyone except us. Look at when I go to WhatsApp, go to status, and go, oh, they did this and that. No only celebration, no only in. They will never tell us.
Sure.
They
You know,
will never.
I feel like, with all the other things that they would ever do without inviting you and all that stuff, well, when people show you that they don't like you, it's okay, it's fine. It's -1 problem for you. You don't have to pretend and all that stuff. And with all the things that are still coming, they are still going to do more of these things in the future. Mara, with everything. Now for me, I feel like the one thing that I feel like it's critical that you need to address is just the issue of your cousin's passing and how you get your own closure from all of that and just close that chapter of your life, because right now it's going to be open forever if you don't handle it. So I feel like that's just the main important thing for me that I wish you could really address at some point in your life, even if you don't have to do it today, not even maybe next year or sometime when you have settled down and you've come down. Just do that one part, and then after that, if you feel like you don't want anything to do with your family anymore, you can just leave it at that. Unfortunately, we have to move on to the next person, my love.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you
Then
so
I'm
much.
done.
Okay, all right. Mutlabeng? Mutlabeng? Okay, it seems like Mutlabeng is
Now, maybe if you unmute her from your side.
Oh, let me try unmute her. Hi, Mutlabeng. Hello. Okay, let me try unmute you one last time because I'm not sure what's going on. Hi, Sissy. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yes, my love.
Yeah, kwagala.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh. O ka re ke bone o dira di heads up ko YouTube. Ke kopa o refrainele gape the topic. O etse le short gape ke gopola.
Oh, the topic we're talking about fake unity in family members. There are people who are sharing their stories about why they don't attend family events anymore, family gatherings anymore, why they will never attend, because as family we gather together, we fight, we gather together, we pretend, we offend one another. And if you have a story to share regarding that.
Oh, na as a story per se, ne? But I noticed already there's disputes that like renally relative hore bale ba nang le tšhelete ba ikgetolla ba dula mona, and then bale ba ba didi ha ba invite we, like, and then they get to be treated differently and all that. So na ebe ke dira so ke re nna ke gatare bana ba ba banyane wa bo ba ba banyane re bona gore na if situation e le so re ka se kgone go dira unity kore a re tsweng ko ditabeng tsa batho ba bagolo re tsweng ko ditabeng tse le tsa gore like nna ko gae borakgadi ba kana ba sa rate mama ka ne all those sad stories tsa mpolelang tsona re ha tlhatso wa shene ba yanolle ba itlhatswe gape and all that ka re okay rena re le bana a re ska tsena that, because I think we deserve a fair chance to enjoy a unity of family, you understand?
Sure.
So nna ke la ka bona kare re derive from that re ska tsena ditaba tso tsa batho ba bagolo, and then if a ke tsore maybe sa le bonaive bo le ba ke rekene even nna ke tseba gore this family ha empathy yo nna ke sa le naive ke sa ya ke ba tshakele, so
No.
it's something that I think or I still need to heal from that.
No, and now I feel like for as long as you still have strength in you, for as long as you still have the zeal, in you, nobody should stop you, because once you reach that I am tired point, ne? There's nobody who can stop you. So if when you still feel like you have it in you, you can handle it, you can still attend these events, whether they're toxic or not, that by all means, you know, attend, and don't let anybody who feels like they're tired of their family stop you from attending, because the day you get tired for real, and you won't even let anybody, you won't listen to anybody. You get what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if it's work, because remember, it's not all families which are toxic, right? And also within families, it's not everybody that is toxic. There's going to be one or two rotten apples here and there, and sometimes because of your character or maybe what you have and whatnot, you may find that you're not one person who is affected by all the negativity that is in the family. You may find that when you are one who is the lucky one, who actually gets good treatment. Maybe go here, no, let's go to private school, then because of all of that, then when you get to enjoy family gatherings. But there are other people out there who actually suffer, you know, because bona, they are on the bottom of the food chain. So because of that, we might not receive family the same way, or we might not, you know, experience the same things from the treatment may differ from person to person. You get what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, no, dear I just wanted to check if I'm still on the right path, or
no,
I can just
actually,
give time and see or it's going to work.
Yeah, actually, when you're on the right track, because I know that I know a couple of families who would do this. I've also been in one family where that would be done, where the kids, one of themselves, would decide that they want the family, the younger generation, to be united because the older generation have failed. That does work out in most cases, but from time to time, you'll find one or two people who are like, you know, like I said, rotten apples, who don't want to be part of the unity. But the rest of the people, the younger generations, you find that, you know what, they're moving together in one accord. So that is a great initiative, and I feel like that's a thing that we should actually adopt if we still want to make it work. Because there's some people who believe that if you don't love my mother, then you can't love me. Then you understand what I mean? And there's some people who feel like, you know what, these old people, let them fail in their own accord. Rena, as the younger generations, will do our thing and will love one another, you know. So I think you're on the right track. And I think it's one thing that a lot of us can actually adapt and learn from.
Because I really believe
True.
behavior towards
I agree with you.
So I do believe as they come, how are you going to react, or it's going to differ like so perseverance before perseverance.
Yes. No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. We must not be hot-spotted. But in most cases with family members, we get hot-spotted. Where one person offends your sister, you feel like injury to one, injury to all. Nobody's going to talk to my mother's child in that way. So you just fight. You know, that's how actually families fight in big capacities, because it's like an injury to one is an injury to all type of thing. Thank you so much, my love. We're gonna move on to Kabelo. Kabelo, should I unmute you or are you good? Okay, let me try to unmute Kabelo so that we can hear what they have to say, input Nyana, before we can move on to Nyaki. Hi, Kabelo.
Madam Speaker.
How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, thank you.
Talk to me. Sorry, I would time and again use this to Anna.
Oh, no problem.
That there and there.
Okay.
But I think it's very important you are educating us. You know, I wanna share my story.
Sure.
And there was a point whereby I started by a student teacher. Then I got like a site abo papaka. Site abo mamaka it started being weird. Weird to such an extent whereby 21, 22, they were expecting, oh, he's getting paid. A certain portion of amount. As individual.
Sure.
Then, the whole family, they started disowning me. And then, you are an orphan. But wow, no pila lebona ke bo mane ha ba lebeletse mahao ke bo size bar says. But then phila bjang le batho ba ntseng yao. Then I started being confused. Then this year ke thoma ke ba permanent, the whole family of mamaka disowned me.
Is your mom late?
At some point, yes. Okay. And late when I was 7 years old. And then they think that they are entitled.
True, I wanted to get to that actually.
Back then they were not there. They were not there. So I read, speaker.
But then how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you are content, or do you feel like you still want to give it a try? Do you even want a relationship with these people, or do you feel like you are good with just your father's side of the family?
No. See, at this point, I think I'm good alone. I think I'm good alone, because at some point they would just say, "Oh, we choose to say papa high."
Sure.
So let me be me, and do what makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I always say this, Ned, to say, I was raised by my dad, right? I speak a lot about my dad, and the way I was raised, my father's side of the family is not my relatives. That's my family. That's how my dad raised me. And my mother's side of the family, they are my relatives. So there are a few people that I'm very close with on my mother's side of the family. But because I was raised on my father's side of the family, that's my family. And if anybody comes for anybody on my father's side of the family, you are coming for me. It's war, you know. So obviously, after your mom passes away, there'll be people who will feel entitled that when you start working, you owe them. They want to step up and be in the position of your mom. But when you needed them to do motherly duties, they are never there. Those people will always be there. And if you check how far you've come with the people who are close to you, usually the people who are there for you the whole time, they don't even have that sense of entitlement to say, you must do this for me, you must do that for me. It's always the ones who were never there when you were struggling, who feel like when you are now successful, they need to take portion because they're replacing your mother, they're staying in the position of your mother, and you don't even owe those people anything.
We don't.
Yeah.
But then, Bona, they think that they're entitled. Like, they would even get angry. No, Mara, this month I will remember last, but when I have my own life, I'm still young, I still need car. At some point I will get married. Then, if only I still got married and then have a wife, then how would that be? Like, how would that? They will take it. But no, so
Yeah,
it's a lot.
true.
It's a lot.
I'm actually.
In the morning, I'm going in for it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm seeing Felicity Happiness's comment saying, lol, that I'm a witness of. Shem, you touch Madam Speaker's family, she will come for you. Me, if you touch my family, if you touch my father's side of the family, to be precise, I am coming for you. Bona, I am taking my dignity and everything and I'm putting it aside and I'm coming for you. We're going to move on to Nyaki. Nyaki, hi.
Hi, Cecily.
I'm good. How are you doing, my love?
I'm good. Wow, I love your topic today.
Thank you so much.
You know, on Monday, me and my mom were speaking about this because her side of the family, they had a family gathering without telling her last weekend. And then we was on Facebook, obviously, and even on WhatsApp. Then I called her on Sunday and said, "Oh, Mama, kwenzakalani ekhaya? Watsake nkhantsega. Abo ngwanaka, ke tlo fa mantswana hore na family o ba treat the way ba o treatang ka teng.
Sure.
O ba rate. And I love them. Ke hotse le bona. Ke hotse ka hara bona. A ntjwetsa ngwanaka o ba rate. A go ska ba etsa se ba nyetsang sona. A re if o le ngwanaka o tlo mmamela. A re Nyaki ngwanaka go a dependa gona o ngwana mang.
Sure.
A re ka bana o ngwanaka. Nna ngwanaka ke dula ke bua nnete. They know there's no way hore ba ka tlang mo go nna ka ska ba botsa nnete. So they hate me for that.
Yes.
But for wena ngwanaka o ba rate. O ba fe seo go fan sona. So
Sure.
I loved your topic today. You did touch me.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Ntho ka jotsa nyana nna gae ke botse re le close ko kwa le teng family le teng. But no ba re bona ka ofela ha bona ha ba sa re sheba. It's
Sure.
fine.
Yeah.
Re tlo dula mo ka lerato la modimo re tlo phela. So I love the topic. I have been listening to others. So I just said let me come in.
Yeah.
Kore today untashita ga bohloko bane ke ntho ne ke bolela le mama on Monday.
Yeah.
I really love you.
Oh, thank you so much, my love. I love you so much more. I'm going to go back to what Mushabeng was saying, to say that, guys, if you have it in you, especially as the younger generation, to be united and be good examples, or maybe start your own new thing which your your adults or your elders couldn't do, then it's better to do that. If you still have it in you to give these people love, if, like, guys, you know how we always speak about how you cannot give from an empty cup. So Nyaki, if your cup is full and you still have so much to give to people that are not showing you any love, then by all means do it, my love, because I mean, you cannot chase darkness away with darkness. If you have love left in you to give these people, give as much as you can. I highly recommend you loving people who don't love you.
Yes.
The only thing that for me becomes a concern is when you have nothing left in you to give, to a point where you are even going to die or kill yourself because of you trying to love people who can't love you back. For as long as your cup is overflowing, for as long as you have it in you to still love people who don't love you, my baby girl, listen, do your thing, honey. Do your thing. All right? You most welcome, honey. You most welcome. Sangogazi. Hi, darling. Hi, Sangogazi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my love?
I'm good, thanks. On today's topic, you really touched me, yes, because when it comes to family, I'm that cousin who never shows up. Literally. And over the years, I think ngoku, I am working on my healing process.
Sure.
So what happened is that 2012, my dad passed away. I was doing a trick, and then cousin Gamam, my aunt, like my dad was a well-known person. So and I think so what happened is that my aunt sent me to go get food for her. And then I think there was cabbage and meat, and like it was just leftovers basically, but from the pot, not from people's plates. So she just started shouting at me, but I don't even eat this, kwami. That was the beginning of the problems. In 2020, I almost got stabbed by unyana wake. And because of a bucket hat, those Ndebele printed bucket hats like that were trending. Yeah. And I was blamed for that. I literally had to bus air Pretoria. I'm from Eastern Cape, so I had to book a bus to Pretoria. 26. Yeah. The thing happened Christmas Day. 26, I was going back to Pretoria. So it's that I've made a decision for my mental health, because after the stabbing thingy, I fell into depression, I had anxiety and stuff. I've just decided to pull away from FML. And even now, I could see I'm always on defense because of everything that happened. So through therapy and my pastor's work, I've been working on myself. But in terms of me, being closer to family and stuff, and this and that.
No, I do get you. You actually reminded me of a DM that I got regarding this whole topic actually of today, where somebody said because obviously they couldn't post it on a public platform. They said that the reason why they don't do family gatherings is because they were sexually assaulted by family members, and because of trying to protect the family name and all that stuff, their perpetrators are still roaming in these family gatherings, and they are unable to get them arrested or anything like that because they don't want to tarnish the family name. So it's actually quite deep for some people. And also, even with you, it's that deep to say, listen, I don't even feel safe around these people that are supposed to be my blood. And because it causes you deeply rooted traumas, and at the end of the day, people are expected, to show up at such events, and they're expected to actually just laugh and take beautiful, picture perfect memories, hey, this and that. I actually do understand where you're coming from when you say, listen, you rather play far away from them because your safety and your mental well-being is at stake. So until you heal from all of that, and also after healing from all of that, and if you still feel like, you know what, me playing far away from these people is okay, then do it. You don't have to be around these people simply because when blood is thicker than water. If your health and your safety is at risk, then blood is not thicker than water, because you wouldn't be feeling unsafe to begin with. Thank you so much for those who are sending in the gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay.
I get you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And yeah, but now it's a lot. It's a lot yabona leyo qobothetha ngayo about being sexually assaulted and stuff. Something happened. I think so. I told this adult in the family, I don't even know if I should be talking about this. Maybe someone might recognize me here, but I don't care.
Okay.
So like I told her, and she. So I was a very sporty kid. I used to wear like the what do you call this, sports bra, as in just shorts.
You are cutting
So
a lot, my
love
love. You are really, I'm losing you a lot. I don't know if maybe you can move around because I'm losing you.
And she just snapped at me in 20 hours.
Yeah, your
Hello?
network is really bad. Sangwagazi? Hello, Sisi?
Hear me.
Yo, you are breaking a lot. I could barely make a conversation, like construct what you were trying to say there. I don't know if maybe you can repeat the whole thing. Hopefully I'll be able to hear you this time around. Okay.
Okay, let me just say the same person abused me and stuff. Usahlala phakathi ekhaya, and it gets very difficult to go home with December.
Yeah.
And with December approaching, I literally am dreading ukugoduka because I often have dreams of myself fighting with that person.
Sure.
And I used to think that it's something spiritual. Through therapy, I just saw that there's a lot of unresolved issues and stuff. So,
yeah. No, I do understand. And I think your issue is, like I said, somebody DM'd me and said that there's a lot of people who probably one of the reasons why they stay away from family is because they feel betrayed by the whole family because nobody protected them. People are more concerned about protecting the family name more than protecting the well-being of individuals. So obviously, if you don't feel protected as an individual from certain family members, you would rather distance yourself, than destruct the whole thing. So I do get you in that regard. Thank you so much, Sangogazi. We're gonna move to Palisa. Palisa. Hi, Palisa.
Dumelang le kae?
Re le kae?
Good day. I wanted to touch a bit on this family topic.
Sure.
And it's something that had recently happened within my family, right?
Yeah.
So me and my cousins have then decided that we want to shift away from our parents and like start our own new traditions.
Sure.
And, so we have maybe annual gatherings. Sometimes we meet like 3 times a year, 2 times a year, just, chill, catch up and, So now recently we haven't spoken this year so far till now. Like we haven't texted each other, we haven't checked on each other. It's just quiet, right? So, and we know where things went off and we know what broke it off, but now no one wants to come forward and say, Ish kiputile mo askisi, and and it's just apologies that have to be presented that we can go back to where we were as a family, right?
Yeah.
So, now we had then spoke about what we need to meet and talk and hash it out, and be as honest as possible, because we were really hurt by the things that have been said to each other, things that have been done, because we are trying to be able to grow and be able to resolve conflict as people. Because batswadi ba rona grew up not speaking to each other. And all of those things. So we didn't want to have that, because now that we have children, we want to teach them how to be able to, resolve conflict amongst each other. And then now we had then discovered they keep things to themselves, which is fine. It's personal things and whatever. But now when things go bad or when things go south, they now want to reach out and be like, ish, yo, guys, and And now we're like, but then again, we weren't told on what happened, or we weren't included on what happened to begin with. And then now when things are bad, you want us then to come forward and be front forward and help, you know. So when I then told them that, and then I'm very honest, I call a spade a spade, you know.
Sure.
They then said, no, it's not about that. Because let me give you a scenario. So 2 of my cousins, very, very young babies.
Okay.
And we weren't told in the family, and that is fine if it's their own personal thing they want to keep, right?
Sure.
Now that the incident has came to light, they now want us to all come forward as a family, consult to go see what's really happening. And I'm like, firstly, we can't go outside and look for help when we know the problem is within, you know? And secondly, you cannot now now you want to call the whole family. Now we have to be on our toes and you know? So I didn't, when I started now bringing that to light, people started getting offended. People started, you know, say about group chatting, they don't want to be part of this anymore. So I'm like, guys, but if you do not want to hear the honest truth, how are we supposed to resolve things?
Yeah.
Because this is what's happening, you know. The vegetables, but you do not water your plants. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you done? Palisa?
Yes, I'm done. Yes, I'm done.
You know, I feel like for as long as I can remember, you guys are starting a new thing. And I kind of feel like with this new thing that you are starting as a family, as the younger generation, somehow you get to involve the older generation in this whole thing, you know, because obviously once you talk about going as a family to go and consult and all that stuff, you are obviously including the older generation. And that older generation is the ones that are rotten apples. They have rotten apples here and there. So now when you include these rotten apples from the older generation into this new thing that you are starting, it is definitely bound to backfire the same way the older generation has failed, you know? Because if you really want to make this thing work, you literally have to make it waterproof and everything proof. Make it proof of the older generation. Once the older generation start mingling and fiddling with you guys, you're not going to go anywhere. It's not going to work. You know, because somehow somebody's mother is speaking to their child, you know, privately, and then they're taking that and they're bringing it to the group. So it kind of feels like you guys have like, it's a miniature group of the older generation. It doesn't feel like it's a new thing anymore. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So for as long as you're still handling things the same way that you did with the older generation, I kind of feel like it's going to backfire eventually, you know, unless if maybe you guys then go to Exhibit A to say, why did we create this group in the first place? The older generation has failed. We don't want to fail like them, so we're not going to be taking any instructions from them. Yes, from time to time we'll hear them when they advise us, but they're not going to run this show for us. So the minute you allow them to run the show, the minute you open your ear to one of them, then definitely the whole thing is going to collapse.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Because also we were like, they failed in every aspect, but here and there, you know, we want to get this advisor and get that advisor and get that advisor in order for us to be united and grow, you know? But yeah, thank you for the advice.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much, my love. We're going to move to the last person because we're running out of time, and that's going to be the boss lady. Boss lady, hi, darling.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my love?
I'm good. I actually joined quite late. I hope I won't take you guys back, but I think the topic is very intriguing. And with me, there's no sexual abuse involved, but it's my own mother, you know, who resents me. And for years, you know, I've had to deal with that. And, you know, I've gone to therapy. We tried going to therapy with her, and it just didn't work. And as of last year, I made a conscious decision to actually separate, distance myself from my family. I stopped taking their calls. I stopped, engaging with any of them. For obvious reasons. My mom is a bully. So if I were to speak to certain members of my family, they would appear as if they were the ones influencing me, or I think they are better than her. So she has so many insecurities. So I don't know where this stems from, but I think she had me when she was 17. So most of her hatred comes from the fact that she says her life never became what she wanted, or she missed out on a lot of things because of me. So we always fight about, I'm not as educated as you are, as I'm 41 now. So every time, there was an argument, it would go back to, I'm not educated as you are. And I think for years, people tried to tell me that she's very jealous of me, but I just couldn't, because I so desperately wanted her to love me.
Sure.
I so desperately wanted to fit in. And it took me a while, to find myself, to find identity, because I was forcing her to love me, and she couldn't love me, and I think, like I said, it took years, and so many other things, for me, were at a standstill. So where you would see that I have potential, I was very destructive, because I didn't know who I was, where I was going. She did everything in her power to label me as, as the black sheep of the family. And it took, a good part of my life. When I look back, it took a very big part of my life. Trying to figure out what could I have possibly done for this woman to despise me, to this level. And eventually, when I took that decision to and when I took it, we didn't fight or have any arguments, or there was nothing, but time came when I realized that I'm tired of this toxicity. There were things that they've done to me. I can list a whole lot of things that they did to me. And you won't believe, and some of the things even other people could not believe that it was my mom, that actually did that to me. So and I understand. I also understood Zolega to a certain degree, because when you're struggling with certain family members and you are struggling to fit in, normally you are labeled as the problem. People never want to deal with the problem, but you
are the problem.
You become the problem, because the person who's the perpetrator tries by all means to recruit people, and for you to be seen in this negative light, as if you're confused, you are attention seeking. There's nothing they have not done. For you. They try. They actually try, but in all honesty, we come from sick families. Some of us, and ask me if I do want a mother's love. Yes, I do. Desperately so. I mean, I think no one wants to not be loved by their mother. That's like the first thing. And unfortunately, my dad passed away when I was 13. And obviously, he knew the circumstances. He knew my mom never liked me. She never liked me when I was young. She told me she regrets having me. She wished she had flushed me. And plus, I was dark skinned. So for her, it was all things that she never wanted. But through it all, I grew up. I became this resilient, person and woman. And now she actually resents me for that. She actually resents me for that she tried to break me for so long. Her sole purpose was just to break me. And the fact that she couldn't and she still can't to this day is a problem. So now I have family members approaching me left, right, and center. She's, she's throwing at me tricks. I was apparently reported missing. People are trying to reach out to me. And I do talk to certain people. They know that I'm fine. They know that I'm alive. They know that I'm doing well. But because she wants to paint this attention or this picture that I'm actually resenting her. Now this is how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the other way around. It's supposed to be me resenting her. She talks to everyone, and I say to myself, there's not even one text where she says, or because I don't answer the call, there's not one text where she says, I see that you are ignoring me. I see that you're doing everything possible to distance yourself. Is it possible for us to talk about it? No, she doesn't. But
she's the victim.
Else,
I think your mom is the biggest
narcissist,
victim.
Yes. She's playing victim. Like I don't visit Facebook that much, so I had a good relationship with my high school maths teacher. So I bumped into that message today. I think he sent it on the 17th of September. The message says, "Hi, how are you? I hope you're good. I spoke to your mom 2 days ago," and I'm like, and then what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? I mean, there's absolutely nothing I can actually do with that. The problem is she's talking to everyone else, but not the person in question. She has never reached out to me to say what seems to be the problem, because she knows what the problem is. She cannot love me the way, a mother's supposed to. She cannot support me. She can't even stand to see me flourish in life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is what it is, though.
Do you have other siblings, sis?
I do, and I think people ask me. So I do have other siblings, and their relationship is much better with them. But people like her actually care for themselves only. So I do have other siblings that she actually manipulated, to thinking I'm the bad person. So we've got that rivalry. One of the things that she planted into their minds was the fact that when we lost our dad, I was 13 and I'm the oldest. And, we had money come in and so forth. So, and I was 13. And when I completed high school, I was 18. I could not sign for anything. But she told my siblings that my dad's money was actually was used to educate me. All of it.
Wow.
All of it. So they were left with nothing because of me. And we are not talking, my dad passed away in 1995. I think in total, I don't know, we got about 1-point-something million because, some came from the employer, some from the insurance, but till this day, they know that I am the one who actually used up my dad's money because she educated me. And I remember very well, we had investments. When my dad passed away, I think the company sent a financial advisor. We all had investments at Sanlam. They invested 50,000 for me because I was in grade 8 at the time, so that by the time it matures, I would be going to university. And my brother and my sister the same way. And for some reason, she managed to actually access those funds. So they never had funds. And the only funds that were left at the time were mine. And I actually went to school. But, she's planted all sorts of, evil thoughts to my siblings. So we are also not, we're not close. The relationship is very, very toxic. They don't see me as one of their own. My sister has gone as far as getting into a relationship with the father of my child. And it's just, it's like sometimes I ask God why, but then I can't come up with an answer. And I realized that I think God wants to show that He's present in every situation, whether you come from such a sick family as mine or, or any other situation.
I am so speechless. I am so speechless, Sissy. Unfortunately, because we've run out of time, I feel like we need to do like an entire, because I see a lot of people who relate to what you are saying right now, in as much as the life was not about parents being hated by parents or being resented by parents. I feel like this is something that we need to like speak about in detail so that everybody who's facing the same thing, we can come together and talk about that. And I cannot, you know what, I'm being distracted here. My dad is trying to call me. I cannot begin to imagine how it's like being in your shoes, and the fact that you are still standing. I was speaking to somebody very close to my heart, when was it, today, and I was saying to him that, listen, one of the reasons why some of us are still alive and we're kicking and we are where we are, it's because of our stubbornness. Sometimes being stubborn is not the worst thing that can happen to you. Sometimes it's the best thing that can happen to you, because in your stubbornness you still, you resist to go down, you resist to fall, you resist to be down and out. You literally just say, my stubbornness is what is going to sustain me to live and to push. And I honestly feel like you are also one of those people that the only reason why you are still here being able to tell the tale is because of your stubbornness. And I feel like, because the same thing that you are saying to me right now, I once had a conversation with another lady who was telling me how her mother just hates her. And I feel like it's a thing that we need to talk about and maybe help each other. Because we need to understand, Hori, if there are 5 people who are seated here right now and all of them have the same problem where their mothers hate them, what could be the cause? Maybe if we find a cause from one person's mother and how they are maneuvering their way and life through the whole thing, how can we help others? Because I saw somebody here in the comment sections on the TikTok side saying that I'm only 25 years old and I'm facing the same thing. You can only imagine. And obviously, if somebody's 25 years old and we're not at your age, that means that you faced this when you were even younger. From the youngest age you could remember, but you've been able to, to live up until here. And God knows what has been able to sustain you up to so far and what your coping mechanisms are, And I'm so sorry for what you've been through your entire life. And I don't even know what to say, babe. I have no idea what to say to you at this point. I have no idea. I don't know how you do it.
It's okay, honestly. And I don't talk much about it because I don't want it to be,
your story like a pity party type of thing.
Yes, I don't want pity. I don't want, pity. You would never tell. And honestly, because I have kids, I really never want them to actually have to experience, the bruised side of me. I try by all means possible, and obviously, maybe some traits will show, but I'm doing everything in my power not to be that mother.
Do you attend therapy?
I did. Not now. I actually did attend therapy for the longest time. In all honesty, because I couldn't. I definitely, and I think without therapy, I really wouldn't be where I am. I seriously wouldn't. I wouldn't be where I am. So it actually did help.
Oh, okay. I'm so glad, because I'm a big fan of therapy. I always speak about how I attend therapy and I highly recommend therapy. But also at the same time, I feel like, us being able to normalize speaking about such topics, which is why I'm really, really keen on doing another live just to talk about this specifically. Us normalizing talking about these things, it makes it it will give you a little bit of, you know, peace, you know, in our heart, to know that you're not alone, and also being able to learn how other people cope and how other people have managed to come out of that. Also the same thing, it gives you that thing, yeah, what you know, okay, that means that I can learn a thing or two. So just normalizing speaking about such topics is a thing. For me, speaking about taboo topics is such a thing, because I know that there's a lot of people who actually can relate to what you're going through, and they also need healing. And also, even with you listening to other people speak about the same thing, similar situations, it can actually, you know, enhance your healing process and make it just, you know, it can, you know, work to your advantage. So I feel like we need to do this again. I will announce obviously on the platforms when we're gonna do that live again. But for today, we have come to the end of the live. I want to say thank you so much to every single person who joined in, everybody who engaged. If you're only coming in now and you've missed some part of the live, you're more than welcome to go to YouTube and watch the whole thing there, because it's going to be available. And also, I've started doing debriefing sessions regarding all the live sessions, meaning that even at the end of this live, during the course of the week, I'm going to post a video with some lesson learned from the people who were calling in, just the panel and the things that they were sharing on this live. I'm going to do like a shorter video, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just debriefing and detailing things that are lessons and the highlights of each and every live that we're going to be doing. So please do look out for that on the YouTube side. And also, if you've not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. We'll see each other again on our next. You know what? I feel like this is too urgent. It's not going to be able to wait for next week Thursday, so maybe we might have to do it during the course of over the weekend, but I will definitely make an announcement about that. But yeah, thank you so much, boss lady. I wish you all the best. You know, I'm praying for you, and I know that you've already done so well. I feel like I need to say to you, well done, because you being able to overcome all of that, you have done so well for yourself. And then I'm gonna go back to the issue of the stubbornness, to say you being stubborn enough to say, listen, I'm not going anywhere, I'm gonna fight this thing. You are a bigger person than a whole lot of people who could not even handle half of the things that you've been through. But look at you now, you are here, and onwards and upwards you go.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome, my love. All right, same to you. Okay, and that is the long and the short of it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for engaging. Please do leave a comment in the comment section down below and tell me what you think about this topic and also the upcoming topic and any other issue that you would like us to discuss. You're more than welcome to leave a comment section. I see a lot of engagement on the YouTube side. I'm happy about that. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. I'll see you on the next upload. Mwah.